still.
No, it's a big 2 game because of the level of opposition.
Well, here we go then. It is time for the LaLiga FC Pro Grand Final. Sevilla will take on Real Sporting in a matchup worth €60,000. Only one of them can call themselves the LaLiga FC Pro champion. Will Nicolas do it for a second year in a row? Or can Resende do it in his debut season here in Spain? It would be quite the story if Nicolas was to be a back-to-back champion here.
Also, wouldn't it be the first time a South America's coming in on the debut season and won?
No, another story actually of National League with a South American coming in and just winning it all.
But back to the point we said earlier. Hang on a second, Nicolas looking to get things going early doors. 5.5 minutes in, Thierry Henry will give Nicolas the all-important lead.
Okay. We're hearing chants from the crowd. Si se puede, si se puede. Yes, it's possible.
I thought they were saying Resende. Resende. No?
No. Si se puede.
Which is?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can turn things around.
Okay. So they're Resende fans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because for a minute there, they were supporting Nicolas.
It's not only is it a great start for Nico going 1-0 up, but he's also won the ball straight from kickoff, off Resende's kickoff. We always say you have to defend your kickoff.
You have to. He did it right.
This could be a second goal.
Yeah.
Mendy, oh my days. David Beckham would not get an easier chance than that. He was just about onside. And if you can cast your mind back to last year's grand finals, which Nicolas did play in against Nacho Bayo, it finished 5-2 already, just 10 minutes in here. I feel like we're potentially on for another grand final that's going to give us another handful of goals. Maybe not 7 of them, but for sure a few. These fans here are trying to get behind Resende.
What a beautiful pass.
That could be Kaká!
Oh.
Courtois comes out, sweeper keeper-esque, and ensures that Nicolas will keep that clean sheet intact.
We're seeing the 95 depth coming into action with the press of all Sporting de Gijón's player. And now Resende gets the ball back. Seems like this first 50 minutes of the game he's not been comfortable. And it's still happening with the press of Nico. Oof, that was close.
A few people in the chat saying, where can we watch Di Fernandez against Emre Yilmaz again? That will not be a broadcasted game. It will happen offline, I'm sure, somewhere here in Valencia. But this is the grand final. The final part of the puzzle to conclude this 24-25 LaLiga FC Pro season.
Chance.
Here's Maradona. Araujo there comes out, was aggressive, does enough to just about give Nicolas possession once again. David Beckham dropping the shoulder, finds his fellow English counterpart. Thierry Henry, step overs are nice! 2 goals to nil. Nicolas leads in this grand final.
A grand, beautiful FC. I expected a finesse coming in. I expected maybe a low driven, but he went for a step over to create enough space for Tchouaméni to be in doubt, and just a normal finish. The goalkeeper was moved to the near post, and that's easy. 2-0 to Nico. Again, we can see Ripley with a step over, which was just incredible.
Digging into the history books on this game, I could find one match where they played against each other.
When was this?
It was a Gfinity series in 2019.
Wow.
So the year that Resende Well, they both would have made a World Championship there, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and Nico won 5-2.
Was this the final?
And I believe that were over 2 legs, because they would have been playing on different consoles.
Different consoles, yeah, that makes sense.
Was that an LQE?
It was.
And was it the one that Nicolas won? Or
yeah.
Yes, because the Foot Champions Cup that year, it was Meslosari, the one he won in London.
There was quite a few Brazilians back there, wasn't there, competing?
A lot of them.
Spider-Con.
Oh, what a beast.
Did they technically match in a cross-console final then?
I think it was.
Yes, they did.
They would have been playing, yeah, absolutely, on 2 different consoles back then. All to do for Resende. At the moment, Nicolas fully in control of this grand final. And Sevilla can't really moan at what they've seen from him so far, because he's only been playing here for 2 seasons and he's already brought them over $200,000 in prize earnings.
The one thing that I will say, when I came to this final, I predicted Resende to win, but the reservation was, you saw the reaction when he won his semi-final game. That was the objective achieved. He came to Spain from Brazil with an E-Champions League qualification and an FC Pro World Championship qualification, and he achieved both. This game, it feels as though, mindset-wise,
It's not the same.
he's already done.
Yeah.
He's finished the tournament.
Yes.
He's playing for an extra €20,000 and the trophy, which can't be understated how important that is, but in the big picture,
it's not what
he's achieved what he came to do.
Yes.
Whereas Nico came to win.
It might be on for a third here. David Beckham. Oh. But Raha was just saved. Thierry Henry from having one of the easiest goals to have all game.
That's a great point, Richie.
Bellingham, Henry. David Beckham, keeper goes down to ground. It's still possession though for Nicolas. As they look to reframe this attack, reshape it up.
Nico came in here to just play for that ECL spot.
Yeah.
And once he got it done, it could have been it for him. But then after that semi-final, I think he has a chip over his shoulder now to win it all.
First ever player to qualify for the Champions League and the Commonwealth Libertadores in the same season.
Yes, that's him.
He could do a clean sweep. He could win the league. He could win 2 huge continental trophies.
Well, usually,
and then going into the World Championships.
Usually you can't do it all, can you, normally? But because he's based out in South America, he played his regional qualifiers there. That's how he got into the FC Pro Open qualifiers in the winter of last year. He's sort of been able to give himself a fully packed calendar. And this would be the year that he will probably be on to break $1 million in prize earnings. Could it be the year that he goes to become a world champion as well? That would round out what would be an incredible career.
This win would put him close. An extra 60k.
It would put him just over 900,000, I believe.
Yeah.
And he's already got money for being just in the E-Champions League and being in the World Championships.
And if he does go on and win the World Championships, there's a lot of hypotheticals. I think this might be the last ever season you see him play.
I agree.
Yeah, agree.
I don't see him having a season like that and then going again the year after. His goal is to win a World Championship. Alongside that, he's picking up LaLiga FC Pro titles. Along the way, he's picking up E-Champions League wins. 2v2 championships.
He's always mentioned how he's striving for the World Championship.
That's the end goal.
And when that happens, that's it.
He's going to retire, isn't he, on the spot, I believe. That's what he's teased us with.
Some interview, wasn't it?
Surely that prize money is just too good that he keeps on turning over year after year. Speaking of Resende, though, has struggled to sort of find his feet in this grand final.
What a pass.
Square.
He fancy him at the back post. Ambrota wins a corner.
He's going to play for the last kick of first half. He should.
He's not.
No, mistake. This could be a good counter-attack. Look at Maradona.
Griezmann just starting the pace there to get past him, though.
Especially now in the league.
Yeah.
In the finals. It's not the same as regular season.
Especially that Zambrotta item on that side.
Last kick of the first half, 1 minute at a time. He has to rush, he has to go forward.
Get that ball past the halfway line and try and make the most of it. No, that should, or not. Kaka. No, dispossessed. Frankie de Jong will do it. Half-time, Resende's 2-0 down in this grand final. And this will be a moment, just have a break, have a pause. And to have a chat with Rafifa, the man who sits over his shoulder, has been in this scene just as long as he has. Richard, talk to me about the stats we're seeing in front of our eyes.
Dominance at half-time. Yes, he might have got more possession, but you see the XG, you see the shots, 7 shots for Nico. And I'm not surprised we're seeing tactical changes coming in from Resende, because if he continues in that vein in the second half, he's not going to get anything out of this match.
I can see now Nico discussing with Fer how Resende is using the 4-4-2. So they're discussing if they want to change.
Maybe not for long.
Maybe not for long.
He's adjusting his 4-2-1-3 tactics at the moment. We are able to tell you that because the players are quite far away from us here on the stage, and our voices aren't being broadcast out to the arena.
I'm loving this chat between Nico and Fer. He's discussing if he should be using roaming or he's good with balance and defend. Nico's just saying how he's feeling like balance is the right way to go. He's always using, if you look at the roles, one inside forward, one winger. And that's the main reason why he's using Beckham, because
so he's getting one winger plus plus.
One of the few players in the league that has the winger plus plus.
Yeah, you actually noticed that Henry, advanced 4 plus plus, Rivaldo on plus plus, Zambrotta on plus plus. The only player who got nothing is Llorente, but he's just too good not to use.
Is the best right back in the competition, really.
Well then, should we kick off this second half then? As it currently stands, Nicolas 2-0 up, but for how much longer? Resende just wide at the right-hand post. There was a hand on it though. Quick corner comes in, Araujo stops in his tracks.
Has to go.
Has to go in.
Has to go the other side. He has to go the other side.
Had all the time in the world, really. You were mentioning how the end goal for Resende was the World Championship and the ECL as well. And you're feeling in these instances, he has to score.
This. Ricardo Kaka does not. Araujo, right place, right time for Nicolas.
Block plus.
Still though, another wave of pressure to come in from Resende. Has to make one of these chances count, otherwise Nicolas is just going to be able to see out these waves of pressure.
Oh!
What a turn. What a turn for Rivaldo! Oh! What a finish! That is simply incredible from Resende.
He's been hitting that a few times and got tackled every time. What's the phrase? He just cooked him.
I mean, wow!
What a goal. That's got this crowd up for it.
Frankie de Jong, Araujo, see you later. What a turn that is from Rivaldo. Game well and truly on.
That has to be goal of the tournament so far. With the stakes, and not only that, with the guy you're playing against, Nicolas99fc. Whoa.
You don't do that against the Iceman, do you, Gravison?
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Hit him straight off the kick-off. First time through ball. Carved him open.
In other ways, he's just said, sit down. Sit down to the crowd here. They were on their feet a second ago. Instant reply from Nicolas. And there's a 2-goal cushion again.
Sit down. Be humble. I'm the champion. I'm going to be the champion again. What a goal. What a way to just kill the momentum of Resende. Just one kickoff. Wow.
Well, back to the same scenario, aren't we? The 2-goal cushion for Nicolas.
can see the formation change from Resende, how he's more comfortable now with the 3 attackers now, with the wingers and the striker.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught that as well. Nicolas was moving his goalkeeper quite a lot.
Yes.
Even that far out. He was one of the best players at defending and moving the keeper. It's quite a sort of a... If you don't notice it, you probably don't even realise he's doing it. But it's something that a lot of players can't do that well.
Me, for example, I've never ever just learned how to defend and goalkeeper move. I mean, it's impossible for me.
That's a great ball.
Rivaldo scored one already for Resende. Pass it on to Kaká.
Oh!
What a chance!
Got to go in.
Maradona.
He actually had more time than he thought.
He could have
taken a touch.
Maybe?
Yeah. Was it green?
No, it wasn't. And with the precision shooting as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing now with the 4-2-1-3. It's if Nico decides to go attack 2v1 on the wing, not much you can do. As you can see,
he's hit a few different corners, has Nicolas?
yes, he has.
Like here, you probably think he's wasted this corner, but he's still got all the bodies in the box. He's still got the players forward.
De Jong, Trivella Green, just over the bar.
And a lot of it is just diversions, just creating different obstacles to try and trick you up. Is he just offside?
Yes.
Well, in the last 15 minutes or so, this game has all just started to get a little bit shaky.
We see a pass coming in, probably from Resende, because if Nico decides to just keep the ball and pass it, I was going to say, he's going to be open to counterattacks. Nice press.
Antoine Griezmann, can he then bring in a few more players into support? Heading towards the final 20 minutes of this year's LaLiga FC Programme final. Nicolas edging closer towards a back-to-back trophy win, defending his championship title here in Spain.
The close control in there from Resende with Xavi is so clean. He's keeping the ball in areas where you shouldn't be able to keep the ball.
Oof!
What a ball that could be. Thierry Henry just about onside. Nicolas might just be well and truly on his way to be a champion here again in Spain.
Every time it's the triggered run, it's the through ball. And that pass from Jude in behind.
We doubted him. Jude Bellingham as a cam. It's not even the Team of the Year version.
No.
But it doesn't matter because it's a perfect pass and it's 4-1. It seemed like Nico controlled the final, but Resende had a window.
When it was just edging his way, 2-1 straight away. And Nico just shut it down instantly, straight from kick-off, bang, 2-goal lead, back in front.
This is the thing about FC, it's a game of margins. With Diego Armando Maradona, he takes an extra touch, goes for a right time finishing, that's 2-2, and that's a whole different match. But now, we go forwards in time, 5 minutes, and it seems like the final is over, 4-1.
Game over.
It feels that way.
It feels that way. Resende is not a goal-scoring machine. It's just not his game style. And as Richard mentioned before, oh, hold on.
Hold that thought, Rivaldo. Could he have got on his opposite foot there?
I thought there might be a Trivella when he cut back in there. The pass didn't seem really on. Just wait and see if this goal goes in. And we see a 5th goal Nicolas's way. It will be curtains wrapped up. Etch the name in the trophy. No more pauses. Fake throw, just on this far side. He's waiting his time. He's one of the best players at that manual passing, whether it's R1 square or an R1 triangle. So effective.
He's just taking time off the clock.
Yeah.
Because he knows his 3 goals.
That's it.
And that's it. That's GG.
Game, set, match.
He's done it again. Nicolas will be crowned champion once again here in Spain for a 2nd year in a row with the LaLiga FC Pro.
That's a crazy finish, by the way, from David Beckham. That's a crazy
He's got
finish.
no right to be doing that.
Without it, Beckham, without it, Jude Bellingham. MVPs of the final. Assists, goals, they can do everything.
Well, we have got a minute, gents. 12 minutes left this game. Let's talk about Resende for a split second, because in his bracket side, the bottom side of the bracket that he was on, there was always a chance tonight that he could have been in this situation of a grand final, but bigger than that, to qualify for an E-Champions League and a World Championship, Richard, is massive.
Yeah, I said it before we even sort of were 5 minutes into the game. His objective was to get those qualifications, to get into the World Championships again, to get to an E-Champions League, and he's done that, and he has achieved those goals. Yes, he's fallen short of the final hurdle. He's not going to be lifting the trophy on the main stage here in Valencia. But what he set out to do, he's ticked off and he's achieved it.
Eight minutes away, Nicolas, from another perfect season in many ways. He wants 6. He's not done yet. Frankie de Jong, not afraid to have a shot on the edge of the box.
A lot of players came into this league this year, non-Spaniards. Nicolas, 2 years in a row, will have reigned supreme in Spain.
And you can't argue that
Does it put players off next year?
And you can't argue that this year was even more stout than last year. Emre Yilmaz came in, Obron came in.
Resende came in.
And still, he's found a way to win.
We don't know what's happening in that 3rd against 4th spot, but Di Fernandez, top 4 last year in the Cup, top 4 in the finals, top 4 in the finals this year again. He's been consistent. He's just one step away from that medal wear. Just one step.
Could be one final chance here for Resende. It's not going to fall his way.
For Nicolas, this will be a massive sort of peak back in the season for him. Will it be a consolation here for Resende? It won't be anything more than that, unfortunately. And in time of just 2 minutes, as Valverde just pushed that one slightly off target. He did time it green, to be fair. But what a story. The Iceman does it once again here in Spain. His 2nd season playing in a domestic league. He's never needed to do it before. But ever since he's come to the Liga FC Pro Cup, all he's done is pick up prize money and lift trophies. 2 years in a row, Nicolas reigns supreme here in the Liga FC Pro. Champion once again. Who will stop him? That's the question.
All he knows how to do is win. Tournament after tournament, trophy after trophy. He's built a team around him that win at every single opportunity.
Well, this will mark over $900,000 in prize earnings for the Iceman. Your LaLiga FC Pro champion for a second year in a row. It's the two-time champ. Sevilla do it once again here.
Last year he came into the tournament looking to prove that he is the best player. This year he came with a chip on his shoulder, literally and figuratively. And once again, nobody gets close to Nicolas.
No one can stop him. No one can get near him.